What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I wanted to got a little scarf on here because I'm wearing this astrology hoodie, but I want to have a little bit of color. Anyways, I want to make this video on manifesting your desires with Kundalini energy and how you can learn to manifest. Essentially, I know that's a big word that everyone hears that word nowadays, and they're like, manifest. They think it's like just something that's just supposed to happen because you said it, but it's much deeper metaphysical aspect to it, and I want to get into that video and how cultivating Kundalini energy helps you in order to manifest essentially what you're looking for. So when it comes to, and make sure you leave a like, subscribe to this video, or subscribe to the channel if you like this video. So Kundalini energy, essentially dealing with one level when we're dealing with the base energy, the Shakti, which is essentially the goddess, embodied within us. And essentially when we get into awakening that energy, it's going to go into the sexual center, so the sacral chakra, after the first Kundalini awakening. Because technically you have, you can have spontaneous awakenings, energy, sympathetic, parasympathetic vibrations that go throughout the body, rising currents of energy going up the spine, that sort of thing, which can be more of a daily thing. Once your Kundalini is really activated, you'll pretty much feel this for the rest of your life, if you're really tuned into it. But for those that are just getting new to Kundalini energy, and especially for the case of guys in Tantra and semen retention and regaining your energy, especially if you've had that addiction to pornography and to, basically ejaculation every day, getting into your Kundalini awakening, your semen retention journey is extremely important to begin to start feeling these more subtle energies throughout your body. So once we get up from the primal center, which is first step, is to cultivate your sexual energy in a new way. And when you cultivate your sexual energy, that's when, like I said, Kundalini will rise to the second center. And now you're actually dealing with the power to create energy, and not just to create, a new child in that sense of the reproductive function, but now you've turned that base energy into creative, emotional energy even, and that's essentially that stage of Kundalini awakening. But at that point of understanding, no matter what stage you're in, you're going to have these chakras activated. And if you choose to, some people may completely renunciate and go to the higher chakras only, and that's understandable. But we're talking about the tantric, and especially the approach when you live, you have to live in the world to some degree. We all have to, it doesn't matter who you is. All these renunciate, these people that, they teachers and stuff, they talk about that, but they have the most money and the most stuff. So nothing wrong with that either. Just speaking on it and showing how, we all have to have some sort of money and sustenance to keep going. In Tantra is understanding we can manifest those desires more clearly when we put our intention into certain energies, even with certain mantras, certain ways of connecting to the goddess, and to understanding also our energy within us, that, everyone thinks you worship this image of the goddess, or this form is going to, give you this thing. And I think that is very the beauty of mantra in these symbolisms, is that it gives us the ability to connect to that source and that particular emanation of the goddess and God that is one with also us in our chakra system. So understanding that. But in the lower chakras, we understand also that now we have that creative function unlocked because we begin to cultivate our energy again. And now you're going to be able to notice how your thoughts, so you should also be working on your third eye and your pineal gland, detoxing your body and getting to that state of pineal activation. And essentially once you get to that state, then you're going to be noticing, like I said, those full body pulsations, connections to nature, stimulus, music, even certain foods can affect you in a new way. And once you get into that state of awakening, you'll notice it happening, more frequently, and also, sort of by your own consciousness where you're tuned to, the conscious mind or the subconscious and unconscious, as it's called. It's one mind, and you don't want to compartmentalize your mind, but understand how the mind works in this way. Most are only operating in that, frontwards 2 to 5% of the brain, or however much it is, and up to 10%, and then you're getting into the subconscious and the unconscious and all these other memories and stored data and information and sensory information, and essentially that is Kundalini awakening. It allows you to see all of that happening at once. You start to see all of these different phenomena, the body, the brain, how these functions operate, and how you are that consciousness. But that's that's one a further level to it, I could say. But just to be open and honest of how there is different layers to the chakras, and Kundalini awakening isn't the same as just knowing about the chakras or getting these little tune-ups, or even with the frequencies. The frequencies are just layered in a certain way to activate these things, but we're working on the whole system all at once, really, with all these different combinations. So I want to make that clear, but also understanding that once Kundalini awakening is stabilized in that sense, now you're choosing to do some sort of discipline every day, whether that's yoga, just regular meditation. It's good to write things down, to say affirmations, that sort of thing, to speak to yourself in positive affirmations. Also, music that utilizes positive affirmations is a great way to get that into your system, to feel into it, to have something to feel into it. And especially music is beautiful for that. I've always found, as a musician, as a songwriter, and using lyrics as a way to speak to my soul, to my being, to the I am presence, and also that I am presence in others. So you get in tune that way, and that's a beautiful thing also. So make sure you check the links out in the description if you like music and stuff, but let's stick to the topic. Essentially, when we get into our Kundalini awakening, our Kundalini energy more specifically, which is that sacred Christ energy, that sacred essence of God within us, essentially, they call it the Christos, or they call it the sacred substance in the body. And this is, you need to cultivate that energy, that it's all connected in your cerebrospinal fluid. And once you start cultivating that sexual energy and converting it into a higher form of energy, this is what the Kundalini awakening, the whole yogic practice, you need it. This is why I say you need some sort of practice. And I have another video even where I said semen retention is a must, because at least for a period of time to cultivate that. And you may have a relationship later, but even within a relationship you can learn to establish semen retention. But even if you're having sex with Tantra, and that's for a different video. But getting even into that, eventually we'll have to make a video on that, where we're talking on how using this sexual energy, cultivating it with a partner, you also are going to be able to manifest much more efficiently, quickly. If two beings are on that same frequency and wavelength, then essentially that's also accelerates your ability to manifest together, by having the divine masculine and divine feminine energies fully embodied in in you and your partner. So there's that. But this is more about individually, without having that essentially divine union or just partnership on the subject, because that's even more challenging than just doing it for yourself, and cultivating this energy and learning to bring the energy up the spine rather than the tendency to flow outwards in orgasm and ejaculation. And you learn to have that inward orgasm, even just, you could be sitting just without any sexual stimulation. This is why people think Tantra is only a sexual thing, and it's not that it's only a sexual thing. It's that Kundalini Shakti is that divine feminine energy, that sacred essence, that is the juice, the substance of life, the richness of our blood and our bones and our marrow. And then the sacred sacred cerebral spinal fluid, and the sperm or the semen in the men is basically the most rich form of that substance, which is in all of our bone and blood and everything. They say, in one way of looking at it, like certain amount of 1,000 bites of food is like one drop of blood to the bone, to the marrow, to the, eventually to the sexual substance. And that's a yogic description of how this energy is multi-layered, and just how vital our sexual essence is to preserve that, to be nourishing ourselves from within. You'll notice you don't need to even eat as much food, so your ability to manifest is now heightened by the ability to not be weighed down by as much food as a normal person will be eating, especially processed foods. You'll find you want lighter foods and fruits, or just fasting on liquids. And you'll understand that manifestation isn't just like, you can write down your goals, that's part of it, and then the affirmations, and then having a yogic practice of some sort, which you can always, reach out to us or go to the Patreon to subscribe for monthly sessions, and I'd be happy to help you get started with that. But essentially, you need some sort of practice to go with this energy, the semen retention, to get this. Especially you're wanting, the asana really helps at that point too, because it gives you a way to get this energy flowing throughout your body. And then when you're sitting or doing activities throughout the day, you'll be feeling more energized and more connected for those other practices, or just work and essential things. Also, sitting is more comfortable once you've done asana. You can sit for a lot longer, you notice, and that's a benefit also if you want to be meditating. So these are just many examples of things that we need to accompany with our manifestation, I guess I should say, because manifesting is a complex thing. And then once we get our minds focused, then we can really put the higher chakras, the mind and the heart, together and work on manifesting from our heart centers what we truly want in life, what we truly want to see in ourselves and with others. And then also in our mind's eye, we want to be seeing that clarity of the different functions of our being, and how Kundalini energy is cultivating that, and also, expressing that. And, for us as men, that is essentially building our energies, having some sort of outlet to actually express that energy. It could be creativity, it could be exercise, it could be, whatever you do. Even you play video games or whatever you, want to be into, just do what you love. And that energy will, come out for you. I don't really play video games, but essentially, I play music, you know what I mean? But I have something to channel my energy into, something to give that energy life in other places, and not just be a build up within you, essentially. So you want to express yourself. You want to be able to learn to express this energy. You speak the word into existence. And then essentially you will notice things manifest kind of instantly. You'll be having a thought about someone. Even I've had this happen a lot recently. I've been having thoughts about people that I didn't even know who they were, and then they just like make a video right after I talk about something, and I'm just like, man, I was just talking about that shit. I was like just doing that. And it's just like one after another, and you'll notice these synchronicities, and this is how you know you're on the path now. You're on that alignment path, and your Kundalini awakening is establishing in a positive direction, because you're channeling that energy towards what your heart truly wants. And you don't have to go outwards to get what your heart wants. Your heart's magnetizing what everything that you are to you. And then your mind is that discernment to see, are these things benefit me? Are these relationships and friendships and family ships and religions and worships and all these different things, are these things benefiting me, or are they, hindering me on my path? How can I simplify that, or how can I expand those things into a different, way of expressing my energy? How can I use those things as a benefit? Because, Tantra doesn't say to avoid or to, go to things, but to attract what we are to us. That will naturally happen as a byproduct of this awakening. Naturally, your consciousness is going to start magnetizing and also sending out that signal mentally to create what you desire truly in your heart. And it's just really interesting, because I've seen, like I said, multiple just channels and people talking about certain things, right around the same time. I had a similar thought, and it's just really interesting on a collective level how when many of us experience this awakening, and especially for years and for sustained periods, we all start to think on a level of cooperation and you could say overstanding or understanding, not just understanding mentally, but really being on that same vibration together, and we start to express a new wavelength. It's really beautiful. But I'm thankful to all my, just gratitude to all my mentors, all my guides, all my ancestors, angels watching over me, all love and praises to the Most High. And also seeing that it's in the I and I, really seeing that, feeling that lately of how God is truly in us, or however you relate to that true spiritual connection. That's what the awakening will show you. And some people may use this, like I said, just to manifest material things. And I guess what I'm demonstrating, or I should say what I am demonstrating, because that's what this is all about. All of these different layers of yoga and tantra and mantra and chanting and music and tunings and chakras, it's all interconnected in nature, and you start to see that you are literally creating your reality. It's that simple. But it's choosing what world do I want to see, and who do I have to become to operate in that world. So just want to encourage anyone out there, keep going, keep following your dreams, keep loving yourself and each other, and finding that space in your heart to awaken in this time. And if you are awakening, if you've already experienced this, reach out to us or put a comment. Let us know what you're manifesting and what goodness is coming into your life, or even the challenges you've gone through, because you will manifest challenges too. That's what I don't want to say. You're not only going to manifest, you're going to manifest based on the vibration, but you're also going to manifest lessons and other things. So bad things can be a good thing if you don't see that good and evil anymore. Essentially, it's transcending that duality, but non-duality is a rough subject nowadays, because it doesn't just happen by negation. You can negate everything and get to that point. So I don't want to say, again, it's one or the other to polarize in either direction, but there is a direct path to do it, and Tantra and yoga has that very well laid out for us. So yeah, just want to share that with everyone. You will manifest the more you awaken Kundalini. I've seen it in my life for years now. Things, people, situations, lessons, and things I even needed coming to me exactly when I needed them and was going through a rough time. Even now, the universe always supporting me. And I thank my family, for watching out for me in this time, and all my loved ones out there, everyone watching this video, you all my family too. So happy to be with you and to be of service. Check out some of the links in the description. I'll talk to you soon.